Naruto has a ton of powerful characters, some who spend their whole lives training to acquire their enormous power that made them into the legends that we know and love as fans, and that made them such fierce shinobi in universe inside the Naruto world. However, here's something that we don't actually talk about enough as fans. There are actually shinobi who got more powerful after they died and reached new levels of power following their actual deaths. In today's Naruto Explained video, we're going to be looking at the top 5 Naruto characters who died and got stronger after death. For the purposes of this video, we are only going to be using characters who appeared in the 72 volumes of Naruto's manga and Masashi Kishimoto's bonus volume, Naruto Gaiden, so we will not be using any Boruto characters, and the same holds true for any filler characters that you see from Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. So if Kishimoto didn't draw them between 1999 and 2015, then they don't count for the purposes of this video. The final criteria that we're going to have is that these characters needed to actually die, so someone like Obito, who is presumed to be dead but wasn't actually dead because he was alive, don't count for this video since he was physically alive and people just made the mistake of thinking he was dead. So jumping right into number 5, we're going to be going with everyone's favorite creepy rogue ninja, Orochimaru. Admittedly, Orochimaru skates a very fine line for the criteria, only because for all intents and purposes, he should have actually been dead. Sasuke hacked his body to bits and absorbed his soul, shoving him into a corner of Sasuke's mind until he'd eventually emerge for Itachi to go on to seal him into the Tosca blade, which that should have been the end for him. In the manga, Orochimaru was considered to be deceased. However, after Sasuke resurrected Orochimaru using Anko's curse mark, where Orochimaru and Suigetsu referred to him as either being revived or resurrected, which to revive or resurrect, you have to be dead already. Orochimaru walked over to Sage Mode Kabuto, stole the chakra that Kabuto had, including the DNA of the Sound 5 and Suigetsu and Karin. That was a major power-up. Just like Kabuto, Orochimaru can now use the Kekkei Genkai of the Sound 5. He can use Suigetsu's clan's hidden jutsu to liquefy his body. He has Karin Uzumaki's healing ability. The power-up doesn't stop there either. It wasn't enough for Orochimaru to get his hands on all the Kekkei Genkai of the Sound 5, including the one he wanted the most, Kimimaru's Kekkei Genkai, to move around his bones and use them as weapons, but he also looked at Zetsu and took his body, which on top of getting a body that doesn't age, doesn't need nutritional water, it also required him to take additional bodies. And most importantly, he now has the power that comes from having an entire body filled with Hashirama cells from having absorbed Zetsu, something that Hashirama and Tobirama both confirmed when Orochimaru resurrects them via Edo Tensei. However, the power-ups continued for Orochimaru. He was able to regain the chakra and the jutsu that the third Hokage sealed away into the Reaper Death God. Orochimaru by the end of the war arc is significantly stronger than the Orochimaru who fought against Hiruzen in Naruto Part 1, to a point where it's downright laughable, and Boruto era Orochimaru that we see in Naruto Gaiden, which was drawn by Masashi Kishimoto, is stronger than War Arc Orochimaru. At number 4, we have Itachi. The reason why Itachi makes it on this list is sadly we never got to see his true power when he was 100% healthy and at his peak. Itachi grew significantly stronger than he was during the Uchiha Massacre while he was a member of the Akatsuki, before he eventually got sick with this illness sometime before the events of Naruto Chapter 1 took place. Sick Itachi was already pretty strong. He could have killed Kakashi with his genjutsu if he wanted to, and he alongside Kisame bullied 3 Konoha Elite Jonin that they faced in the Search of Tsunade arc. He was strong enough that even by the events of the battle with Sasuke, he could react to Sasuke's attacks and control the flow of battle despite his body dying and his eyes seeing 3 different Sasuke at one point in the fight. When Itachi does get resurrected via Edo Tensei, the Edo Itachi we see is significantly stronger than the one we saw when he was sick. Edo Itachi, after Kabuto took control of his body and forced him to start fighting, not only kept up with KCM1 Naruto, but he had attacks that would have connected and did damage on Killer B, a perfect Jinchuriki, had Itachi not warned him in advance of the attacks. If Kabuto had shut down Itachi's personality at the same time he took over his body, B would have taken considerable damage in that fight. This Edo Itachi is shown reacting to a pissed off EMS Sasuke Susanoo and slapping away the arm of EMS Sasuke, who was using that Susanoo arm. And while inside the cave, we see him stop a pissed off Sasuke mid-attack because he wanted to keep Kabuto alive so he could undo the Edo Tensei. Edo Itachi is clearly stronger than Sick Itachi, and before someone says Edo Itachi can't run out of chakra, we have literal statements in the manga that say otherwise from characters like Minato, who are Edo Tensei, who flat out say that their chakra hasn't recovered yet. Madara saying that there was infinite chakra is more so a sign of how utterly broken Madara was. At number 3, we're going to be going with Edo Nagato. Like Itachi, Edo Nagato is extremely extremely powerful. Strong enough that when he got access to his legs, he was spamming rinnegan jutsu at a level unlike anything we've seen previously, and using multiple rinnegan jutsu back to back and in some cases simultaneously. While we did see him briefly in a rage against Hanzo, what we see Edo Nagato puts him clear above anything we saw when he was pissed off with Hanzo. The fact that Edo Nagato was bullying two perfect Jinchuriki, who were perfect Jinchuriki for the strongest of the 9 Biju. This is just downright alarming. It got to a point where Naruto began freaking out as the fight was waging on, which is considerable given that up until this point, we saw Naruto in battles with Edo Tensei. He wasn't freaking out, but once Nagato got control of his legs and was fighting, Nagato put the fear of God in Naruto that we don't see again until Madara drops that meteor on the Alliance. The craziest thing about the fight with Edo Nagato is that we didn't even see him go all out yet. Nagato has mastery of all 5 changes in chakra nature. That battle could have gotten way more disgusting than it actually had got had Itachi not coordinated the attacks with Naruto and Killer Bee to take down Nagato before things could even progress that level, which is a testament to his power that Itachi saw Nagato as being capable of something serious and decided that things need to end now, because Nagato is one of those fighters where the longer that the battle races on, the deadlier he becomes and the fewer win conditions you're going to be able to achieve for victory. At number 2, we're going to be going with Edo Minato. Minato is such a fascinating case of someone who got stronger after death. When he was alive, the guy was a Giga Chad in every definition of the word. The flying Raijin Jutsu was something that he was spamming when he was alive, taking out 50 shinobi in the manga during the flashback chapters for Kakashi Gaiden in Naruto chapter 27, where we learned how Kakashi got the Sharingan. In anime filler, he was stated to have taken down 1,000 shinobi using the flying Raijin, but that's irrelevant since that's filler, and we don't count filler for the purposes of this video. However, when he taught Genma and the other Hokage guards the jutsu, none of them possessed enough chakra to perform the jutsu on their own. We learned this in Naruto's manga, where Mei, the 5th Mizukage, says that they're using the 4th Hokage space-time ninjutsu, and Genma and the guards specifically say that Minato taught them the flying Raijin, but they don't have Minato's enormous chakra reserves, so they have to pull their chakra together just to perform the basic teleportation version of the jutsu. Alive Minato was not only spamming this jutsu that took 3 Jonin to use their chakra for, but he was also making new variations like the flying Raijin stage 2, which moves faster than the Sharingan can track, and the flying Raijin Gaiden Thunder, which can teleport a Biju Dama. When Minato died, he sealed the yin half of the 9 tails into his body. By default, he got even stronger than he was when he was alive because he was able to stack the full power of the yin half of Kurama onto his chakra, allowing Minato to become so much of a monster that he got some of the best shots in on Obito that day, including slicing Obito across the chest before he could even react. I can't even lie. When Minato came back from the dead and started doing all that stuff when the chapters are coming out, I was one of the people who was heated calling it a bad idea, but now that I'm not in the moment anymore and I'm out my feelings, I can say this is actually one of the most logical and well thought out power-ups that we have in the series, but not the biggest case of someone getting stronger after death. That's going to be reserved for Madara Uchiha, who's going to be at number 1. Alive Madara with the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan was already a monster. He and Hashirama, if we were to make tiers, their alive versions who fought each other at the Final Valley would have been a tier below Jubi Obito. So below a 10 tails level fighter is absolutely not anything to turn your nose up at. But here's the thing, when Kabuto brought him back as an Edo Tensei, and when he had Hashirama say that even despite the Rinnegan and the Hashirama cells, that Madara still wasn't at his full power that Hashirama remembered him to have, but when he was revived via the Rinne Rebirth, blind Madara was not only dogging out Sage Mode Naruto inside, but he absorbed Hashirama's Sage Mode and turned Sasuke into a selfie stick and proceeded to play around with the Biju, and then gain even more power by becoming a 10-tailed Jinchuriki, then getting even more power when he got his second Rinnegan, more power when he absorbed the God Tree, and more power when he got the Rinne Sharingan. Madara was powering up at such a rapid rate that even the Sage of Six Paths himself told Naruto that Madara was getting close to his power, which given that Hagoromo still technically had 6-path Senjutsu, evident by the truth-seeking orbs that he had when he spoke to Naruto, it shows you that Madara was growing insanely powerful as the story progressed. Regardless as to where you fall on that Hagoromo statement, the point still stands. Madara got even stronger after he originally died and became one of the biggest threats that the shinobi world has ever seen. That's my ranking for the top 5 shinobi who got even stronger after death. If you disagree with this ranking, let me know how you would change things down below. Who do you think had the most impressive glow up following death? While you think that over, click here to watch these other Naruto Explained videos.